There is a secret most of us overlook every single day. It hides in plain sight, right in the mirror, right in the faces of those we love. I'm speaking about the color of your eyes. You may have been told it's nothing more than genetics, a biological inheritance passed down from your parents. But if you pause, if you dare to look deeper, you'll realize that your eyes are not only organs of sight. They are portals. They are living symbols. They are gateways into the unconscious, into the timeless archetypes that Carl Jung spoke about when he reminded us that the soul always communicates in images. Think of it this way. Your eyes don't just reflect the light of the outer world, they radiate the hidden colors of your inner world. Every shade, whether brown, blue, green, gray, amber, or the deepest black, carries with it a vibration, a psychic energy, a message from the collective unconscious. They are not accidents of biology. They are signatures of the soul, chosen before you even took your first breath. Haven't you ever looked into someone's eyes and felt as if you were staring at a mirror of yourself? Something unexplainable stirring inside you? That's no coincidence. The eyes speak a language that goes far beyond words. When the mouth falls silent, the eyes continue to tell the truth. They reveal the archetypes within us: the mother, the visionary, the alchemist, the sage, the instinctive, the magician. Each gaze is a code, a symbol, a map of the soul's journey. Brown eyes, the most common in the world, are not simple at all. They are the fertile soil, steady and maternal, holding the archetype of stability. Blue eyes, admired for beauty, are in truth a symbol of the visionary soul, gazing toward the eternal sky. Green eyes burn with the energy of transformation, the restless fire of the alchemist, who heals and confronts at the same time. Gray eyes hold the wisdom of the threshold, neither night nor day, carrying the quiet depth of the sage. Amber eyes are primal flames, rare and magnetic, pulsing with instinct and wild vitality. Black eyes, mysterious and devouring, are the seed of infinite potential, reflecting the archetype of the spiritual warrior who walks with shadow and light. And here's the deeper truth. When you look into another's eyes, you are not only seeing them, you are meeting yourself, your hidden wounds, your forgotten dreams, your buried fears, your unclaimed strengths. The symbol strikes first in the unconscious, before the mind can explain it. That's why a stranger's eyes can make you trust, or fear, or love, without a single word spoken. So today, I invite you to go beyond curiosity. Don't just see the color of your eyes as a physical trait. See them as messages, as reminders of your essence, as living archetypes waiting to be recognized. Because every glance is more than a visual encounter. It is an invisible dialogue between souls. Now take a deep breath. Imagine standing in front of a mirror. Look into your own eyes, not with judgment, but with reverence. What do they tell you? What secret have they been carrying all along? Brown eyes, the maternal archetype. Among all the eye colors, brown is the most common across the planet. Billions of people carry this shade in their gaze, and yet, what is most common is often the most overlooked. But let me share with you something I have learned after years of studying symbols, souls, and the unconscious. What is common is never simple. In fact, it is often the very foundation of life itself. Brown eyes are earth eyes. They hold the warmth of fertile soil, the stability of ground beneath your feet, the maternal embrace that says, "You are safe here." In the psychology of Carl Jung, Brown resonates with the archetype of the Great Mother, the force that nurtures, protects, and sustains. When you look into the eyes of someone with this color, you may notice a calmness that cannot be taught in books, a patience that feels timeless, as if carried through lifetimes. These individuals are often anchors in the storm. In moments of chaos, they embody stability. Their presence alone can soothe without a word being spoken. They do not need to shout or demand attention. Their gift is containment, the ability to hold space for others to feel secure. It is why so many people naturally lean on them, often without realizing how much weight they are placing on those shoulders. In love, brown eyes tend to radiate loyalty. This is not a fleeting, impulsive passion, but a steady flame that endures. Their love is built on actions rather than promises, on constancy rather than spectacle. They are the ones who remain standing even when everything else falls apart. And yet, because they appear so strong, so unwavering, the world often forgets that they too carry wounds. They too need rest, tenderness, and care. If you were born with brown eyes, remember this truth. Your gift is to nurture, to stabilize, to protect. But do not let that gift consume you. Even the most fertile soil needs sunlight, water, and time to regenerate. You are not only here to hold others, you are here to flourish, to receive, to be replenished. And if you know someone with brown eyes, look deeper. Do not underestimate them simply because they seem calm or ordinary. Beneath that gaze lies a vast emotional depth, a quiet strength, a steady heartbeat that continues to protect you, even when you are not aware of it. So the next time you meet a pair of brown eyes, pause. Feel the earth beneath them, the archetype of the mother alive within them, and ask yourself, what part of me longs for that same stability, that same unconditional embrace? Blue eyes, the visionary, the divine child, blue eyes. They have been admired for centuries, often celebrated for their beauty, their brightness, their resemblance to the endless sky or the open sea. But beauty is only the surface. To understand blue eyes symbolically, you must look deeper into the invisible landscape they mirror. From a Jungian perspective, blue represents the heavens, the eternal, the archetypal realm that stretches beyond the limits of time. Those with blue eyes often carry within them a strong connection to the inner world, their dreams, their imagination, their visions of what could be. It is as if their gaze is not bound to the earth, but drawn upward, outward, beyond the ordinary. These are the visionaries, the seekers, the souls who often feel slightly out of place in everyday reality. They live with a sensitivity that can sometimes feel ethereal, as if they are walking between two worlds, the concrete and the invisible. Their eyes don't just see, they question, they wander, they search for meaning in every detail of life. And yet, this gift comes with its paradox. Blue eyes can reflect both tenderness and distance. At times they shine with empathy and softness. At other times they seem cold or withdrawn. This duality depends on whether the person has embraced their shadow. When the inner world is integrated, blue eyes radiate wisdom, intuition, and depth. But when the shadow is denied, they may appear detached, evasive, or fragile. In relationships, people with blue eyes are drawn to mystery. They crave depth, not superficial bonds. They long for emotional intensity, but also for freedom, the freedom to explore the inner landscapes of their soul. They want to be seen not only for what they do, but for who they are at their core. Archetypally, blue eyes resonate with the visionary, the one who sees beyond the surface, the one who perceives invisible threads that connect life's experiences. They are also linked to the divine child, the eternal dreamer who carries within them a vision of a better, purer, more harmonious world. But this idealism can bring frustration when faced with the harshness of reality. Their challenge is to bridge their dreams with the world around them, to anchor their visions without losing their light. If you have blue eyes, perhaps you've already felt this pull, the sense that your gaze travels beyond the ordinary, that your inner world is vast and sometimes misunderstood. Your gift is your vision, but your task is to root that vision in reality, so it does not drift away like clouds in the sky. And if you know someone with blue eyes, understand this. Behind their distant look may be a soul traveling, exploring invisible landscapes. Do not mistake their silence for indifference. Sometimes they are simply navigating the infinite. So the next time you meet the gaze of blue eyes, ask yourself, what dream within me is waiting to be lived? What vision of my soul longs to come true? Green eyes. The alchemist. There is something about green eyes that words can never fully capture. They are rare, yes. They are beautiful, yes. But their mystery lies deeper than appearance. When you look into green eyes, you feel a magnetic pull, a silent intensity that dances between calm and fire. They seduce without effort. They challenge without speaking. They invite you closer, yet they do not surrender easily. From a Jungian perspective, green is the color of renewal, of transformation, of the living bridge between earth and sky. Green eyes embody this paradox. They hold within them a creative tension between instinct and spirit, reason and emotion. Those who carry this color often live in duality, passion and reflection, impulse and restraint, longing for balance but never settling for stillness. These are the alchemists of the soul. Their presence alone can stir emotions you thought were asleep. They awaken both your light and your shadow, forcing you to see yourself more clearly. And that is their gift. They confront you without a word, reflecting back what you most need to face. Psychologically, green eyes carry a sharp emotional intelligence. They sense the unspoken, the hidden tensions, the undercurrents of a room. At their best, they channel this intensity into healing, creativity, and transformation. At their worst, they may be consumed by extremes, fiery relationships, emotional storms, inner battles. In love, green eyes do not give themselves lightly. They demand truth, authenticity, and trust. They crave passion, but not at the cost of integrity. And once they trust, their love becomes a force that transforms everything it touches. Archetypally, green eyes resonate with the alchemist, the one who turns pain into wisdom, chaos into creation, shadow into light. Their great task is to direct their restless fire toward higher purposes or risk being consumed by it. If you have green eyes, you may already know this restlessness. You are not here to live on the surface. Your soul craves depth, truth, and beauty. And if you know someone with green eyes, never underestimate them. Behind their gaze lies a constant revolution, an inner fire that, if you are allowed to enter, will change your world forever. So the next time you meet green eyes, pause. Feel the storm and the calm within them. Ask yourself, what in me is waiting to be transformed? What part of my soul is asking to be reborn? And as we continue this journey through the archetypes of the gaze, another question arises. If green eyes hold the fire of transformation, what secrets are hidden in gray eyes? Those rare mirrors that stand between light and shadow. Gray eyes, the sage gray eyes, are uncommon. They do not shout for attention, nor do they dazzle with obvious brightness. At first glance, they may even appear neutral, almost undecided, neither light nor dark. But look closer, and you'll realize that nothing in the human body is neutral. Every shade carries meaning. Every symbol is a message. Gray eyes are like a still lake at dawn, quiet, reflective, yet holding depths that can turn stormy without warning. They are the eyes of thresholds, the in-between. Not black, not white, not night, not day. Gray represents the liminal space, the crossing point where the soul meets itself without disguise. From a Jungian perspective, this color resonates with the archetype of the sage. Those who bear it are often observers, listeners, thinkers, souls who carry within them a subtle wisdom. They process before they act. They feel deeply, but they rarely show it all at once. And this is their paradox. The world may misinterpret them as distant or cold, when in truth their inner landscape is vast, complex, and difficult to translate into words. People with gray eyes often excel in analysis, strategy, and guidance. They can step back from chaos, see patterns, and illuminate truths that others miss. This ability makes them natural counselors, teachers, artists, or spiritual guides. Their intuition is strong, but it is tempered by reason, allowing them to balance logic and insight. In love, gray eyes reveal themselves slowly. They do not rush. They do not leap without reflection. They seek intellectual compatibility, emotional safety, and sacred space to open their hearts. Once they do, their commitment runs deep, quiet, steady, unwavering, like a secret fire they tend carefully. Their greatest fear is not losing another, but losing their own center. If you were born with gray eyes, you may already know what it feels like to be misunderstood, judged as aloof when you were simply processing. But your eyes hold an ancient gift. They are windows into the wisdom of thresholds, into the delicate balance of shadow and light. You are an emotional alchemist, capable of turning confusion into clarity, pain into insight. And if you know someone with gray eyes, look again. Do not stop at the surface. Behind that calm exterior may live a storm, a poem, a revelation waiting to be spoken. So the next time you meet the gaze of gray eyes, ask yourself, what truths within me remain unspoken? What part of my soul waits silently at the threshold, asking to be seen? And here arises a deeper curiosity. If gray eyes reveal the wisdom of balance, then what of amber eyes, those rare flames that burn like embers of the earth itself? What ancient instincts awaken in the gaze of amber eyes? Amber eyes, the instinct, the primal flame. Amber eyes are rare jewels in the human face. They do not merely reflect light, they seem to burn with it. Golden, copper, sometimes touched with red or green, they shift with the sun like living fire. To look into amber eyes is to glimpse embers glowing beneath the surface, a reminder of something ancient, untamed, and deeply instinctive. From the perspective of depth psychology, amber symbolizes vital energy, the raw impulse of life itself. It is tied to the archetype of instinct, the primal force that moves us before thought, the wild current that whispers of survival, passion, and authenticity. Those with amber eyes carry this flame within them. They are rarely satisfied with conformity or routine. They follow intuition even when the path is uncertain. They resist being domesticated, for their souls belong to something older than rules and expectations. Their energy is magnetic, often unsettling, because it cannot be easily explained. It is a vibration you feel in your body rather than in your mind. These people seek experience more than certainty. They need to taste life fully, to feel it in their skin, their breath, their heartbeat. They demand truth, intensity, and presence. Their instincts are sharp, like an inner radar. They sense deception before words are spoken. They can smell danger in the air, feel tension in a room, anticipate changes before they arrive. This connection to the primal makes them natural healers, dancers, creators, even shamans, not because they were taught, but because they carry ancestral memory in their blood. But fire, if not guided, can consume. The challenge of amber eyes is to channel this inner blaze constructively. Without balance, they may burn themselves out with anxiety, impulsivity, or toxic entanglements. Their soul's task is to turn raw instinct into conscious power, to transform wild energy into creativity and purpose. In love, amber eyes burn fiercely. They do not give lightly, but when they do, they give completely. They want relationships that ignite growth, challenge, and transformation. Monotony suffocates them. They thrive where passion and authenticity are alive. And yet, even in devotion, they guard their independence, for to lose it would mean betraying their very essence. If you have amber eyes, you may have always felt different, even within your own family. You may sense things others overlook, react with visceral intensity to dishonesty or injustice. This is not weakness. It is your gift. It is the voice of your ancestral fire, calling you to live truthfully, fearlessly, with unshakable presence. And if you know someone with amber eyes, do not try to control or fully define them. Love them as you would love fire, with respect, with awe, knowing that their flame can bring warmth and light. But if caged, it can turn destructive. So the next time you meet amber eyes, ask yourself, what part of me longs to awaken the primal fire? What instinct within me is asking to be honored? But the journey does not end here. For if amber eyes burn like the earth's flame, then what about the blackest eyes, those enigmatic orbs that seem not to reflect light, but to absorb it? What mysteries lie hidden in the abyss of black eyes? Black eyes, or eyes so dark they seem to swallow the light, are perhaps the most enigmatic of all. Unlike other colors that shimmer or shift, black eyes absorb. They do not mirror back. They pull you inward into depths that words can barely touch. To look into them is to approach an abyss, but not an abyss of emptiness. Rather, an abyss of infinite possibility. In Jungian symbolism, black is the color of the unconscious, of shadow, of mystery. It represents all that is hidden, repressed, or not yet manifested. But within that darkness lies the seed of creation, the raw potential from which everything is born. Black eyes carry this archetypal force. They are portals into the unknown, into the realms where transformation begins. Those who bear this gaze often radiate intensity without speaking. They do not need to command a room. Their presence alone shifts the atmosphere. There is power in their silence, strength in their stillness. Archetypally, they resonate with the magician, the one who draws energy from unseen worlds, and with the spiritual warrior, who faces shadow not to destroy it, but to integrate it. Inside, their world is vast and complex, like a sacred cave filled with symbols, memories, and unspoken emotions. Many times, this richness is misunderstood by others, and even by themselves. If they resist their inner work, the power of their shadow may erupt as jealousy, control, suppressed anger, or obsession. But when they choose to walk the path of awareness, their depth becomes a torch, illuminating the darkness not only for themselves, but for everyone around them. In relationships, Black eyes do not play. They love with gravity, with a devotion that can feel overwhelming. To them, love is not a casual exchange. It is a sacred bond, a pact written in the soul. Betrayal is not just painful. It awakens the darkest corners of their being. Yet when they love consciously, their devotion becomes unshakable, their loyalty absolute, their passion transformative. If you were born with black eyes, know this: your soul carries a profound mission. You are not here by accident. You are here to confront shadow, to transmute darkness into creative power, to remind others that true light is not the absence of darkness, but the integration of it. Your journey is not easy, but it is sacred. And if you know someone with black eyes, honor them. Respect the mystery they carry. You may never fully understand their depths. Perhaps even they are still learning. But if they allow you into their world, you will discover a love, a strength, and a truth that few ever encounter. So the next time you face eyes that seem to devour the light, ask yourself, am I ready to face my own depths? Am I ready to walk into the darkness of my soul, not with fear, but with reverence? Because in the end, whether brown, blue, green, gray, amber, or black, the eyes are never just physical traits. They are living symbols. They are mirrors of the soul. They are invitations to the greatest journey of all, the journey inward toward wholeness. We have walked together through the landscapes of the gaze: brown, blue, green, gray, amber, and black. Each color, each shade, carries within it a vibration, a symbol, an archetype. The mother who nurtures, the visionary who dreams, the alchemist who transforms, the sage who observes, the instinct who burns with primal fire, the magician who walks with shadow and light. But here is the deepest truth: no eye color is superior to another. Each is a facet of the human soul, a fragment of the great collective unconscious that Carl Jung spoke of. What matters is not simply the color you were born with, it is what it awakens in you. Because every gaze is more than a glance. It is a mirror of your own wounds, your own desires, your own hidden powers. That is why when you look deeply into someone's eyes, you may feel trust, or fear, or love, without a word spoken. The unconscious always recognizes the symbol before the mind can explain it. And so, when you study the eyes, you are not only learning about others, you are meeting yourself. The task, then, is one of individuation, to see not only the brightness but also the shadow, to embrace the totality of who you are, to honor your own gaze as a living symbol of your essence, and to honor the gaze of others as sacred, mysterious, and worthy of respect. So I invite you right now to pause. Look at your own eyes in the mirror, not with judgment, but with reverence. Ask yourself, what story does my gaze carry? What archetype lives in my eyes? What truth have they been whispering all along? And then, when you meet the eyes of others, take a breath. Remember, behind every glance is a universe, as vast and mysterious as your own. To truly look into someone's eyes is an act of courage, of humility, of love. Because the eyes are not only windows to the soul, they are bridges between you and me, between shadow and light, between the ordinary and the eternal. So tell me, when you look into your eyes tonight, what will you see? And when you look into the eyes of another tomorrow, what part of your soul will be reflected back at you?